She had been waiting for this evening the whole day. From the moment she woke up, something inside her was restless. Her husband had surprised her the night before with an unexpected suggestion: let's go to a restaurant tomorrow. It was such a rare proposal that at first she thought she had misheard him. They almost never went out, at least, not anywhere fancy. He always had reasons: the mortgage, the bills, the constant refrain of, we must save, we can't afford luxuries. She had long stopped arguing with him about it. But this time, there was a strange spark in his eyes, a liveliness that made her believe, just for a moment, that perhaps he wanted to do something special for her. He even said, almost with pride, I want to treat my mother and my wife. You both deserve it. That sentence alone had been enough to stir a fragile hope in her heart. She spent the entire day carefully preparing. She didn't have a wardrobe full of expensive clothes, but she had one dress, simple yet elegant, that always made her feel dignified. She brushed her hair several times, adjusted it until every strand fell into place, and even allowed herself the smallest hint of makeup. As she looked at her reflection in the mirror, she whispered, maybe tonight will be different. But as they drove to the restaurant, her hope began to waver. Her husband's demeanor was oddly cold. He barely spoke to her. His mother, however, sat in the back seat, glowing with satisfaction. Her smile wasn't just content, it carried the quiet confidence of someone who knew exactly what awaited them. When they stepped into the restaurant, she inhaled the aroma of fresh spices and expensive wine. The air was warm, humming with low music and the gentle clinking of glasses. A waiter guided them to a table by the window, a spot she would have chosen herself, romantic and quiet. Her heart quickened. For a moment she allowed herself to think, yes, maybe this is real. Maybe tonight is truly for us. Her husband didn't even ask her what she wanted to order. He briskly selected several expensive dishes, his tone decisive, almost performative. His mother gave instructions to the waiter as though she were the hostess of the evening, adjusting the order here, demanding changes there. She sat silently, folding her hands in her lap, swallowing her unease. Something was wrong. Her husband was never this free with money. He counted every coin at home, argued over every unnecessary purchase. Yet here, he ordered wine she knew cost more than half their monthly grocery budget. When the appetizers arrived, he poured his mother a generous glass of wine, winked at her, and declared loudly, tonight is a celebration for us. They laughed together, exchanged jokes, spoke in a lively rhythm that left her out. She felt like a ghost at the table, present but unseen. Her smile trembled, polite and faint, but her chest tightened. She was trying to hold back the growing sense that something was deeply, terribly wrong. And then it happened. The waiter approached with a small leather folder. Her husband took it casually, opened it with a satisfied smirk, and then, without hesitation, placed the bill directly in front of her. The world seemed to fall silent. Around them, the restaurant carried on, laughter, the soft chime of silverware, music. But all she could hear was the pounding of her own heartbeat and one repeating thought, why me? Why should I pay? She looked up at her husband, praying it was a joke, a little prank he would immediately dismiss with a chuckle. But his face was steady, cold, and assured. Beside him, his mother folded her arms across her chest, leaning back with a triumphant expression. It was as if she had been waiting for this exact moment. Her lips curved in a smug smile, and then she muttered, just loud enough. Well, since all the money in this house seems to be yours, it's about time you share it. A woman must contribute to the family. Her husband didn't flinch. He leaned forward slightly, his voice sharp and metallic. You always brag about your good salary. Now's your chance to prove it. Pay for us. There was no warmth, no request. It was not an invitation. It was a command. Her throat tightened. Rage and despair collided inside her. She could feel eyes on her from the other tables, waiters waiting discreetly for her reaction, strangers who had already noticed the tension. Shame burned in her cheeks. She wanted to run, to slam the chair back and storm out. But she knew if she left now, she would give them exactly what they wanted, her humiliation, unfinished and raw. Her gaze dropped to the bill again. 30,000. The number blurred for a moment as her eyes stung. That was the money she had been saving, little by little, for something meaningful to her, a course she wanted to take, a dream she had barely dared to whisper to herself. He didn't care. You wanted to show how successful you are, he pressed on almost cruelly. Go ahead. Show us. His mother leaned closer, whispering like venom. That's right, son. Let her learn what it means to support a family. Her hands curled into fists so tightly that her nails dug deep into her palms. She could hardly breathe. It felt as though the walls of the restaurant were closing in. But in that suffocating silence, something else began to rise inside her, a fierce, steady determination. If she paid tonight, it would be only once. She lifted her eyes and met her husband's gaze. Calm, steady, her voice cutting through the tension like a blade. This is your celebration, your choice, and your expense. I will not be turned into a wallet for your whims. His mother gasped, stunned by the defiance. For years they had grown used to her silence, her compliance. But not tonight. Her husband tried to soften it, his lips twitching into a forced smile. Come on, don't make a scene. You earn more than me, don't you? It's just one dinner. But he saw it in her eyes. She was immovable. The waiter stood discreetly, waiting. The weight of the moment pressed down on all three of them. She reached into her purse, not for her card, not for the full bill, but for a few neatly folded bills. Slowly, deliberately, she placed them on the edge of the table. This is for my meal. And my drink. Nothing more. Her voice was firm, resonant, stronger than she had ever sounded before. Her husband froze. His mother hissed something about shame and disrespect, but her words barely reached her. The spell had broken. She stood, slipped her coat over her shoulders, and turned toward the door. Each step felt lighter, freer. Behind her, her husband's voice rose, sharp and demanding. Come back. Explain yourself. But she didn't look back. Not once. Outside, the evening air struck her cheeks with cool freshness. She inhaled deeply, filling her lungs, and for the first time in years, she felt a strange, powerful sensation, pride. Something had shifted inside her. Tonight was the turning point. She knew with absolute certainty that he would never see her the same way again. And more importantly, she would never again allow herself to be humiliated by money, by control, by their manipulations. Her life would begin on new terms now. Her own terms.